Good afternoon and welcome viewers to voting day in the United States. Yes, today is the day in which voting is about to be held in the world's oldest democracy. And in just a few hours from now, that is at 4:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, which is around 6 a.m. in the United States, voting is set to begin across the 50 states of America. This election is, as I said, being fought between the Republicans, which is headed by former US President Donald Trump, and you have the Democrats, which is led by the incumbent Vice President Kamala Harris. Just a brief look at these parties will tell you, viewers, while the Democrats are considered as a liberal and a left-leaning party in its ideology, the Republicans, led by Donald Trump, are considered to be far right in their ideology. So this is a clash between the two ideologies, clearly, as you can see. How will that influence voters is a big question. Now, viewers, let's head into the issues which are the dominating issues in this election, which could very well determine the voter sentiments. Now, if we look at the issues which could impact the US election this time, one of the biggest issues emerging is the state of the economy. Yes, viewers, according to a recent survey which was conducted by a polling agency, at least 6 out of 10 Americans felt that the state of the economy was either very bad or doing fairly badly according to them. The United States was one of the major economies in the world which suffered a great deal due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which began in the year 2020 and lasted till 2022, because of which viewers, unemployment rose in the United States to a great deal. If you have a look at the data currently, as of October 2024, the unemployment rate in US stands at 4.1%. It is important to say here that Donald Trump's poor response to the COVID-19 pandemic in the year 2020 was one of the biggest reasons which saw his exit as the president of the United States. Then apart from that, viewers, linked to the economy is the issue of inflation. Yes, according to the recent data, though the inflation is at a 3-year low of 2.4%, during the COVID-19 pandemic and also with the wars which have taken place in the world, two major wars, which is the Russia-Ukraine war as well as the Israel-Hamas war, the inflation has really broken the bone to a great deal of the average American over the last few years. And this is one of the reasons why the voters seem to be angry with the present government as well. So will this perceived anger against Joe Biden on the issue of economy as well as inflation help swing voters in favor of Donald Trump? That is what we will have to wait and see. Now, coming to the second biggest issue in this election, viewers, it is that of infiltration and illegal immigrants. If one specifically observes Donald Trump, they will be able to notice that immigration, the illegal immigration issue, has always been a part of his election campaign. Interestingly, this time he has taken it one step further and has promised that if he comes to power, the largest domestic deportation operation will take place in the history of the United States, where around 11 million people who are staying in an unauthorized manner in the United States, that is without their visas, will be either deported or will be put into detention camps. So this infiltration poll plank is one of the big issues which is driving Donald Trump's campaign even this time around. Now, the third biggest issue which is playing on the minds of the voters is the Israel-Gaza war. Yes, viewers, more than, of course, the Israel-Gaza war itself, it is the response of the American government, the incumbent government, which seems to be playing on people's minds. Although you can say both sides in this election, be it Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, both have tried to play middle ground in this situation because they both do not want to antagonize either the Jews or the Muslim voters who do play a key role in certain crucial swing states in the United States. But according to media reports coming from the United States, there is a large section of Muslim voters, which include the Arabs, who are angry with the incumbent Biden government's handling of the Israel-Hamas war. So this will be very interesting to see whether they actually move towards Donald Trump in this election or not. Now, the fourth issue, viewers, which could determine this election in the United States is that of women voters. Women voters here would also look at specific gender-centric issues while voting, apart from the overall state of the economy and the others. The women-centric issues also include women rights, including the right to abortion. Abortion has become a burning issue in this election in the United States of America. While on one hand, you have the Democrats led by Kamala Harris who claim that if they come to power, they will ensure that the right to abortion is legally guaranteed to all citizens of America in all the states which exist. But currently, if you have a look at the US, there are 23, in fact, there are 20 states, in fact, where this right to abortion is illegal. So they are promising in a way to try and overturn that if they come to power. Whereas if you have a look at the Republicans, in the beginning, the Republicans look to be extremely opposed to this right to abortion. But now, interestingly, in the last days of the campaign, you have many Republican leaders claiming that if they come to power, they will leave it to the specific state governments which are there in the different states of the United States of America, and it is for them to decide whether this right to abortion should be legal or not. This clearly, I think, is in a way a clear admission that this is a burning issue on the ground, specifically against women, and they should not, and they could lose out on women voters if they are seen to be against their rights. So these are the 4 issues, viewers, which could determine the minds of voters in this election, apart from, of course, the general race divide which is there in America on the basis of color and ethnicity. Can the Democrats secure a second consecutive term in office, or will the Republicans, led by former US President Donald Trump, return to power or come to power this time? Also, viewers, this election, while it is for the future of the United States of America, it will also have a great deal of impact on the entire world order. Yes, viewers, relations between different nations in the world could be severely impacted depending on the nature of the government in power. And one such country which surely will be impacted by that will be India. So it will be very interesting to see what happens in the election results, which are to be declared in just a few days from now. With camera person Vinesh, this is Sapra.